What is good, YouTube? It's your boy, Mimatati, back at it again with another DSP video. We're going full-time detractor mode here because DSP just cannot stop seeding. This time he has officially called out the one, the only, the number one Duty streams. Got really mad and salty when Duty released his monetization analytics, and he called them out, and he was very, very, very stupid doing it because it's DSP. He's stupid doing everything. So, without further ado, let's just get right into the video, shall we? Also, in the interest of speeding these videos up a little bit, he will be at 1.25 speed, just to speed things up. And because of the 1.25, no snort counter, so, okay.
To make fun of someone, they don't care if it hurts someone or if it defames someone or their business or their family. All they care about is personal gain, okay? And it's sad because it does hurt myself and my family and my business, and I can't really defend myself against it because I'm not going to waste time talking about it all day.
What are you doing right now, DSP? You're wasting your time talking about it. Like, it's fucking such king of hypocrites. Like, yeah, you were literally doing right now the thing you say you can't do because you don't have the time. Well, you're doing it, you fucking idiot. Also, oh, it hurts my family. It defames me. They are just posting shit you say. If you would stop saying stupid shit, all your problems would go away. My guy.
But anyway, the funny part about this video, we're not going to watch it because basically what he does in this video, Duty this is, he basically goes into his actual, like, analytics on YouTube, and he shows this screen, okay? And I wish that he would have zoomed in more. I know it's hard to see. I can't blow it up any more than this on my PC, so I apologize for that. Actually, wait a minute. Yes, I can. Hold on a second here. Wait, hold on 1 second. I'm a professional. We can just do this.
Hey, folks, it only took him 16 years, but he finally figured out how to make something bigger in OBS for a live stream. Round of applause, people. Round of applause. Also, yeah, we know you're not going to go into the video because you would never look in any detractor video because it would just show you what a hypocrite you are.
But now it's going to be hard. Now I'll be able to do it. So, as you can see, what he's showing here is his channel analytics. And you might wonder, why would Duty be showing his channel analytics? All right. Well, he's showing them because, basically, in a recent video, I said the following, or I'll paraphrase. I said, my detractors are seething. They're losers because they are angry that I'm successful, that now I have a second wind and everyone is liking my content and coming to check me out, and that I'm popular again. They can't handle that, right? They depend on me basically being a loser to make their content, and so they're very upset.
They actually depend on you being a stupid, conceited idiot who is self-centered, self-obsessed, refusing to change, responds to the slightest bit of criticism with outrageous rants. That's what they rely on, and you do that to this day. It does not matter whether or not you get 1,000 people on your stream. It does not matter if you get 2 people on your stream. As long as you do this, as long as you keep being an irredeemable douche nozzle, you will have detractors. And it shows that whenever you get the slightest bit of money, you get more and more detractors because of just how stupid you are. And yeah, no detractors really care if you make money. Hell, one of the main detractor talking points, what was it, like 2 years ago, was how fucking stupid you were for not making money by going on the locale podcast of Keemstar for $50,000. Every detractor was like, how stupid can you be to not take the $50,000? As you can see, Duty is doing very well for himself, even if he needed it, which by all accounts he doesn't.
And I even went as far to say, listen, these people are losers. The videos they put out get a few thousand views a day when they put them out, okay? They're not getting hundreds of thousands of views on these videos.
I mean, neither are you, so what's the point there, idiot?
The thing is, they put out a bunch of them, so the videos add up in viewership.
So basically how you ran your YouTube channel when you first started. Like, you pumped out like 20, 30 videos a day, 10 minutes each for like 10 years until YouTube changed the analytics and they changed it from just straight view count to view duration, and that's when you're like, okay, well, I guess I'll start making the videos in bigger chunks. If they hadn't done that, you'd still be doing the same shit too. So I don't want to hear that crap.
Right? So basically I said, they're not making a ton of views or whatever on this stuff. And in addition to that, you know, it's ad revenue versus other, you know, my revenue is based on both ad revenue, but also I have super chats, I have memberships, I have tips. Those are my goals for the day, and I get the ad revenue on top of it as well.
Your detractors get super chats, tits, and memberships as well? What argument are you making? This is the most din-headed argument I've ever heard. Which is something coming from the god.
These guys, a lot of them are just basing it on ad revenue. And I kind of said, you know, they're only hating on me for money, for the little that they're making. And, you know, it's going to turn around. Like, basically, it's all going to turn around because now I'm getting my second wind and people like me again. All right, so I said things like this on my stream.
It didn't turn around during the initial vest streak, so why would people think it would turn around now?
So what he does is he turns this into an 18-minute special video where he says, I have to debunk DSP's lies about ad revenue and views. He goes on to say that, look at my channel. So I brought in 1.2 million views on my DoD Streams channel in July, okay? And that resulted in $5,036.96 in ad revenue for me because I'm a partner on YouTube. So literally him making these awful, factually untrue, unhinged, deplorable videos about me is making this man $5,000 a month.
Hey, big ups. Good for him. Good for the hustle. Also, Duty Streams is... Like, I don't like the way Duty Streams does, because Duty Streams basically... Except for a few videos like these, Duty Streams basically just rips DSP's channel and put it into more sizable chunks on his channel. Which, like, I don't like the idea of just ripping someone's content and just making it your own. Like, I think you should add some commentary to it, some transformative work. Like Memology adds edits, adds memes, adds jokes in there. Duty is almost basically just... Hey, here's a 5-minute chunk from Phil's pre-stream. But because he is basically just ripping your channel, how in God's green earth can you say he's making these heinous, untruthful lies about you? It's coming right from the pig's mouth.
Okay? Wow. I'm sure many of you were shocked, right? When you see that, you're like, wow, did you really think that it was going to be that profitable, right? It's pretty insane when you think about it, right? I mean, I'll be very honest with you guys. I don't get that many views a month. In an average month, this channel probably brings in 600k views these days. You know, some months we spike. When we have a busy month with games, I'll get 700, 800k views. I rarely hit 1 million. I couldn't even tell you the last time I had 1 million views. It's probably been years. So, I want you to think about this. A person who is literally, alright, literally shitting on me all day, making shit up, defaming and slandering me, is making $5,000 a month doing it.
Yeah, there's a market out there to hate you because you are so easy to hate. Some might even say you're the king of it. Like, what's the big deal? Like, how much do you think your boys at the Keno Casino make a month when all they do is shit on locales as well? I mean, sure, they occasionally call you the king, but they've called you regarded in the past. They call your wife fat. They shit on Rich from Review Tech and Wings and Boogie. They do all the same shit, but it's okay for them, but not for Duty? What's the difference? Like, if it would be one thing if you were bringing up that Duty is just ripping your content. Like, that would be a legitimate argument, I would think. But you're saying he's shitting on you when he's not, and you're friends with people who do worse. Pick a lane.
Alright, and he's also getting more views than me. Well, the first thing that I want to say is, I'll acknowledge this. He's getting more views than me. And he's making $5,000 a month on ad revenue. Now, by the way, he outright made a point. He says, I just want you guys to know, in the month of July, I did not live stream, so there is no super chats included in this. That revenue total is solely based on ad revenue. That's what he said. Now, I don't know if he has memberships, because memberships also would be involved there. And if he has memberships, he didn't factor that in. I mean, for a channel that's bringing in 1 million views a month, you would think he has members that are paying, correct? So that should be part of it, but he fails to mention that in the video. So I can't say if there's members in there or not. But he's bragging. He's bragging, saying, look, I brought in this many views. I didn't even stream. This doesn't even include super chats. So his argument is that when I say things like, oh, well, you see, YouTube ad revenue isn't that good. You can't really make a living on it. Well, look at this, Phil. I'm bringing in $5,000 a month on ad revenue, so you're a liar. You could definitely make a living on it. Well, first of all, Duty, like I said, I bring in around 600K, which is about half of what you brought in July. So my ad revenue would be about half of that. You understand that, right?
Oh, please tell me you're not making this argument. Because you can totally live on half of that. People do it all the time. I vaguely remember, I don't know if this is true, don't quote me on this, unless someone does the due diligence and finds out it to be true. But I remember one of your dents who was living out of his car, homeless, giving you money. He was clearly living on less than, what was it, $2,000, $2,500 a month? I've lived on that comfortably. You could live on that comfortably, but you don't live within your means is the issue. That's the issue with you begging. That's the issue with you asking for super chats and constantly nagging at your chat over and over again to give you money and pay your bills. You don't live within your means. You DoorDash every other day. You live inside a gated community. You don't get a second job. You don't let Kat should have a full-time job as well, but for all standards we know she only works part-time at like a JCPenney's or a Sears or some shit like that. You could live on your ad revenue alone without incessantly begging every day of the year. Even after you got $4,000 in one day, the next day you were begging. That's the issue. You're begging and begging and begging when if you just lived within your means, were a little more frugal, put a little more hustle in either getting a part-time job yourself or having Kat gain a full-time or a second part-time job, you would be able to live so much better without begging. And then half of the detractor shit would be gone in an instant.
So yeah, if you're bringing in the amount of views that I'm kind of bringing in, you can't make a living on that, right? I'm speaking from experience. That ad revenue has plummeted. There was a time when I could bring in 1 million views a month and I would be making like $8K a month on ad revenue. You understand that? That was before the adpocalypse. The adpocalypse changed all of that. And that's the point that I've been making is so many people had to change the way that they made content, me included. I have to now take super chats, tips. And by the way, I got a generous tip. I promise you I will shout this out. I just don't want to lose my train of thought. So his point that, oh, well, Phil always says you can't make a living on ad revenue alone. He's lying. All right. Is valid if you're him. All right. But there is a point that I need to make.
It's valid if you're him or if you put out content that people like to watch. The problem is you actually do put out content people like to watch as shown by Duty, but you don't put it in enough of a context, enough sizable chunks as entertaining, as quick, as fast-paced as the internet likes it nowadays to actually be profitable. You have these like 5-minute chunks of gold that everyone on the internet wants to see and you freak out about, but it's buried in like a 2-hour podcast or a 15-hour gameplay where the first 5 hours of gameplay is you asking chat, what am I supposed to do now? What am I doing now? If somebody doesn't tell me what to do right now, I'm just not doing anything.
You know, he made 1.2 million views in July, and literally every one of those views is my view. Like, you understand that, correct? Dude, I just have to appeal for a second. You understand that those are my views. Because your content is titled Debunking DSP Lies. Your content is literally tagged hashtag DSP, hashtag DSPGaming, hashtag DSP Throwback. People are searching for me, and then they find you. You've gamed the system to show up in search first, but those are my viewers. You get that, right? I mean, even guys like Kino Casino, who are watching clips and stuff, they're watching your clips because you're what comes up in search first, because you gamed the system.
Oh my god, someone actually used the YouTube algorithm to their own benefit. Imagine that. Imagine if you would have done that, DSP. If you would have done that, if you would have taken the fucking time, patience, and effort to actually looking into it and doing what Duty does every day, you'd be a fucking millionaire by now, dude. Well, he actually probably was a millionaire, but he fucking wasted on WWE champions. But how can you fucking criticize Duty for doing what he needs to do to grow his channel, to make his bank, when you're clearly not doing it? And to say that, you're only getting it on view. These are my views. No, they're not. They're his views. He put in the effort to cut you down into sizable chunks. The video that he does do commentary on, he's doing the commentary. That's like saying, for the June the King documentary on Review Tech, that's not June the King's views. That's Review Tech's views. Are you going to say the same thing when June the King does his documentary about you? And technically, everybody who's watching you right now, who's watching this clip, if you did clip this or whatever, I don't know, you're not doing this these aren't your views. These are duty views because you're responding to duty and his content. Like, that argument is so stupid because you can just keep going further and further. Nobody watches your content. They watch for Resident Evil 8 or Elder Scrolls or not Elder or Elden Ring. You don't do anything. You only Elden Ring. That's all your views. If you didn't have Elden Ring, you would have no views. You can't make that kind of argument when you're doing the exact same shit, if only slightly different because video games.
You didn't come up out of nowhere. People really like your charismatic personality, and that's how you won over viewers. You won them over on my back. You understand that? Every single view you have on your channel is my view. Now, I don't get paid for those views. You do, because you're a scumbag, and you monetize slander, defamation, and hate.
Did you monetize your react to the Review Tech June the King documentary? Are you monetizing this thing? Do you monetize shit when you talk about detractors? Did you monetize that thing earlier in the year where you told one of your viewers to eat shit out of your spoon because he compared you to a meme? Just saying. Also, did you gain all your viewers due to your charismatic personality? You have said multiple times that if you do not do YouTube when you first did, which is basically the first day, you were one of the first people on YouTube. If you did not do YouTube then, you would not have made it. So you're not getting views based on your charismatic personality. You're gaining views because of luck, because you were just there first.
But those are my viewers. So I make 600K viewers in a month, but then I also have your 1.2 million views. So I actually make 2 million views in a month. I mean, we could do this with many different channels. We could go to each detractor's channel where literally the only content they're getting is off of me, and we could keep adding on to the views of my channel. You know what I'm saying? Like, we could continuously do this and stack it up.
Also, you repeatedly say you don't want these people in your channel. You put it on subscriber-only mode for a day because you don't want your detractors to be in your chat saying nasty shit about you. You have said, if you were a detractor and do not like the gameplay, leave. So what do? They leave. And they go to these detractor channels. Despite the fact that, like Keemstar said last year during the Side Scrollers interview, the detractors are your fan base. They are much more loyal than your actual fans, and you fail to capitalize on that. You fail to promote content that detractors enjoy. You fail to allow us in the streams, into the chats, and we go somewhere else. And now you're mad that the detractors get more views than you when you actively have kicked every detractor from your channel because you don't like those people there. Well, if you don't like their people there, you don't like their money, so quit bitching.
Now, the very funny part about all this is if I were to stop making content, you know how many views Duty would have? 0. He would have 0 views. Because the only reason anyone watches his content is me. Whether you like me or you hate me, undoubtedly, the only reason anyone tuned into Duty streams is because of Darkside Phil. And the moment that DSP is gone, you're gone. You're nothing. You're a parasite. Eating off of me. You understand that? There's no value to you or your existence on YouTube. You're just another symptom of a broken system that only factors in the law, but not morality. If there was a morality system on YouTube, your ass would have been wiped and flushed fucking the moment you made your first video.
What about your first videos? What about your constant slurs? What about your hate speech? What about calling yourself the hate army? What about calling every game a piece of shit because Kachima's an asshole? Is that nice, positive content now? Also, what kind of content would you make without the video games? I mean, yeah, you have your hour-long podcast, but that's basically just holding up until the pre-stream, and most of those people in your podcast are just LARPers. LARPers and detractors waiting for you to say something stupid so they can clip it and make their videos for it. You could say your React channel, that's not your content. That's you responding to other shit on the internet or just your old shit. Also, we don't know if the detractors would go away because most people have specialized channels. Like, most people don't put everything on one fucking channel. Duty has found a good channel, a system for detracting on you, so he posts everything about you. If he did something else, he might or might not get the same or less or more views, or he might switch to something else. Fucking memology is a good point of this. When memology stopped focusing on you and started doing like political shit, he blew the fuck up. He blew the fuck up so big that his main channel isn't even about you. It's about weird politics and stupid internet shit. He has a side channel that he does for you now just for shits and giggles. So if memology is anything to go by, the detractors would be just fine without you.
But YouTube is an immoral system that doesn't care and allows people to monetize hate, and that's the only reason you have any pertinence on this website, okay? Now, continuing on, the funny part is with all of this, this isn't even the self-felt part that I'm talking about yet. The self-felt here is that for those of you who don't know, Doody has outright said over and over and over that he only does this channel because it's fun. He doesn't need the money. He's said this is not him making fun of Darkside Phil for financial gain. In fact, that's not a stake in it. It's not a big deal. For him, he's doing it on principle as a hobby for fun. You know what I'm saying? Like he said this over and over in his own content, all right? But he makes $5,000 a month on a slow month without super chats. You really honestly want me to believe he's not making content about me because he wants to make money. He said this before. He's outright said this. As they say, press X to doubt. The man who makes $5,000 on a slow month, if that were every month, he makes $60,000 a year, but likely more because he also has super chats and other things coming in. So he probably makes 80 grand a year shitting on me. All right? But I'm not supposed to believe he does it for money.
According to your bank leaks, you make over $100,000 a year playing video games. And you always say, oh, you don't do it for the money. You do it because you're truly passionate. You love the thing. But so what's that? How is that different for you? Why? He said this multiple times about detractors. Oh, if you really think you have a moral leg to stand on, demonetize yourself. Well, why? If you were doing something you believe to be moral, or justifiable, and I think taking DSP down a peg or two is probably moral and justifiable, and you have the option to get paid for it, why wouldn't you? Especially for shit like the ad revenue. Because whose money are you taking from ad revenue? YouTube? Like, YouTube certainly doesn't need the money. It is much better in the economy's hand for it to be in duties than for YouTube. Just like it's better for it to be in your hands than for YouTube's, DSP. It's better for the economy. Like, I would never say you should demonetize your channel, except as like if you were saying that Doody should demonetize his channel to prove the point that he's not doing this for money, that he's actually doing this as a moral point. He said this before. He called out all the detractors. Oh, if you really think you have a moral leg to stand on, demonetize your channels. Or at least just do it for a month. Like, well, why not you do it first? Fuck, you got $4,000 in a day. You could demonetize your ads for a month and still be golden. Why is the impetus on people who should not, under any circumstance, give half a crap what you have to say to demonetize themselves? And just like if anyone says that to you, to be like, oh, you should demonetize yourself because you say you're doing it, you should rightfully say right back at them, no, I'm doing what's good and I'm making money on it. What's wrong about that? But apparently if they shit on you, that's the bad part.
All right? Well, Doody, you just made the biggest mistake of your life. You want to know why? Because now you've been exposed. We all know what you supposedly make, but you claim you don't need it, right? So, since you're not a hypocrite, since you're better than me, demonetize your channel immediately. This very moment that you're watching this, because I know you're watching it, disable all advertisements and kick yourself out of the partner program right now. Because if you don't, you're a fucking liar. You're a degenerate hypocrite. And everything you've said and done is worthless. So, here's the thing. I make a living on YouTube. I've outright told you guys, I need monetization. I need support. This is how I make my living. I pay my bills, how I support my family. This is my job. Yes, I need the support. Okay?
So if a detractor makes money off of you, but they need it because of financial situation, then it would be okay? Like, what's the fucking deal? Also, again, like I said earlier in the video, you don't need to constantly beg your fans. You can live if you are frugal, if you are smart with your money, if you don't live in a gated community, if you don't DoorDash every other day, you could live off of ad revenue. You choose not to because you've known that if you just beg, people will give you money. Also, he wouldn't be a fucking liar to say he doesn't need the money. Like, you could maybe make the argument that he's a hypocrite, but saying he's a liar because, haha, I don't need the money, but look at all the money I make. How is he a liar by saying that? Like, I think the saying that he's a hypocrite is also dumb, but him being a liar is just completely nonsensical.
I'm not lying about it. I do it for fun. I actually did YouTube for 2.5 years before you could even monetize gameplay videos.
But as soon as you were able to, you monetized it. Also, how long... Just because you're a detractor, YouTube isn't going to give you 1,000 subscribers and into the YouTube partnership program just because you made a detractor video. How many videos did Duty Streams do before he gained monetization? For all you know, it could have been 2 years as well.
And if I were to become rich, like let's say I won the lotto, I would continue to stream, but I would absolutely not monetize my content.
Doubt.
Okay? Because I wouldn't need to. If I won the lotto, I don't need any more income for the rest of my life. All right? You're saying you're affluent. You're good. You're set. You're good to go. You don't need the income. You're doing it for fun to make fun of me. You will demonetize your content immediately right now. Turn off all monetization on Duty Streams this very moment, or you are the world's biggest lying fucking hypocrite. And there is absolutely, positively no way you can spin that in another way. You self-felted yourself when you showed your analytics. You incredible brainless dunce. Why would you do that? Did you not think that this was going to blow up in your face?
Again, what does he have to prove to you? Why should he not monetize his videos? Who cares? He gets a little extra money from YouTube. It's not stealing money from you. It's not stealing money from anyone. It's just he gets money because he posts videos about you. Also, Duty Streams has responded as to why he does not demonetize his channel. In my defense, I need that ad revenue to pay my monthly business expenses. Here's an itemized statement, Phil. Player hands in the chat. As you can see, it is written on a piece of paper, and DSP is well known for keeping his business expenses on a piece of paper, so I hope he is okay with this. Duty's expenses. Income, $5,000. Business expense, $5,000. Bills, $50. So he's actually losing $50 a month on this. So yeah, it's actually better for him to keep doing this because he's losing money. The only thing that would make this like smart for Phil is if Phil actually did like a 10,000 IQ brain thing and he's actually Duty. That would be amazing. If Phil were an actual detractor of his own and he got income based on the detractor, that would actually be kind of smart. But, I mean, if it were smart, Phil wouldn't do it. Anyway, that's basically the end of that video, and that's going to be it for me today. Until next time, fuckers, take care. Bye.